We just watch and make sure, like, when the levels are all good and everything for me. Okay. And make sure, am I on the camera too?
Yes.
Okay, good. we got have you ever seen that movie with Zach Galifianakis where it's Between Two Ferns? You know who Zach Galifianakis is? He's the guy from The Hangover. Did you ever see the movie The Hangover?
I think I started watching that and found it not as entertaining as many other people.
Okay. So he does a thing. It's called Between Two Ferns, where he like just asks these stupid questions, like to really famous people, like, how does it feel to have a girlfriend that's hotter than your wife was, and you know, or just weird things, and be just like. So that's why I was mentioning this. But
okay, So
all
it's always also a topic that have like those
yes,
ferns
yes,
in between.
Yes.
I see.
Are we ready?
All right. Yeah, ready.
All right. Good afternoon, Brittle Planet followers. This is Eric Peterson, and today I'm in the depot in Salt Lake City. And today I have a special guest with me, and it's Frederik from Blind Guardian. How you doing?
I'm quite fine.
Good.
How are you?
Good. We were just talking earlier. You've been to the Northwest, so I could see got your Bigfoot swag on.
Yeah,
and,
I got all my merch. For merch. The first store that they had, I couldn't resist to get quite a few things. Yeah.
So you didn't actually see anything, though?
No, I tried actually. I was sitting next to the bus driver when we drove through we came from Oregon to Washington State, and now we moved eastwards, and I tried to sit there and watch a little bit of forest and see something, but
it's pretty thick.
Well, there was something we saw, but it was not a Bigfoot.
Okay. So how are things going with the tour?
Yeah, pretty well so far. The best thing, we're super happy about the reception of the people in the venues. Lots of people are coming. That's super cool to see. They are having a good time. That's even better to see. And from our side, nobody is sick so far. That's the best.
That is the best. That is the best. Yeah, because it's the worst, I'm sure, when you're on tour and somebody gets sick.
You never get rid of that.
Yes.
Usually, it takes a long time.
Yes. So I just have to say welcome back to the United States, because I haven't seen you guys here since 2016. Is that the last time you were actually toured in the States?
Yes, with Blind Guardian we did. Then 3/4 of us came back for the Demons and Wizards tour, but that was of course not Blind Guardian, even though we played 2 songs. But yeah, for Blind Guardian, that 2016 was the last time, and it's quite some days ago.
Yeah, that was the last time I saw you. I got my shirt from that show, and so yeah, it's good to have you back. And is there things that you miss being in the States that you don't get in other places?
I'm in a very lucky position that I married an American girl.
Okay.
And she works for the U.S. military, so we have access to the bases in Germany.
And that has everything.
And then we can, if we crave the one or other American thing, then we can go there. They have a Taco Bell or stuff like that. So
nice.
You feel like you're in Little America, as we call it.
Yeah.
And that is so we're kind of stepping on American ground quite often.
Oh, good for you. So there's nothing like, I mean, we were talking about the traveling distances between. That's one thing that's different than being in Europe, is you travel a lot longer to get to show to show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, like here you go from state to state, there you go from country to country. So
exactly.
Yeah,
and still some states are bigger here than the countries in Europe.
Exactly. So I was going to mention too, we have a birthday, not your birthday, but it's guitar player Andre's birthday today, right?
That's correct.
Are you guys going to do anything special for him?
We, of course, will sit together after the show and have a little cheers and a toast. Nice. And I heard that there's a couple cakes, coming from different sources.
Nice.
So that will be interesting to check out.
Nice.
Even though we are on tour, in the middle of the tour, so we cannot exaggerate too much, because it's really hard to recover from anything that was exaggerated.
Yes.
So
you got to keep it as normal.
It will be kind of a family-friendly party with some cake and some drink, but
nice.
Nothing too crazy. Just fun.
Good. And then, so next year you'll have been in the band for 20 years, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That's a huge accomplishment. How does it make you feel to think? I mean,
I'm still the new guy.
Are you? Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it?
I have many interviews they're introducing it like, hey, so you're the new guy in the band. Like, what are you talking about? It's like almost 20 years.
Yeah. So do you still get hazed like the new guy, or are we past that phase?
No, I mean, after 20 years, we cannot really feel like the new guy anymore.
Yeah.
And we also did the math that I played most of the Blind Guardian shows now. So not time-wise, I'm not the longest drummer, but for the show amount of shows that I played.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
So you basically, you kind of grew up listening to early Blind Guardian.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you got a chance to be in the band.
It was actually my favorite band. To be precise on that, it was my favorite band, and I was just done with my studies. I went to music college for jazz and popular music, drumming. Excuse me, and then I was just done then, and I heard about that the drummer left Blind Guardian.
Okay.
And joked in the beginning, like, oh yeah, I should apply for the job. Like, why am I not applying for the job? You know? Like, why not? It's my favorite band. I know all the songs. I'm right now ready for starting my professional career. And why not give it a chance, you know? And then it worked out.
And so when you first started, was it like, I know it's been a long time ago, but it was a surreal moment. Like, I've listened to these guys and now I'm playing this stuff with looking out at them.
It was more like the most surreal moment was maybe when they actually accepted my offer and said, like, yeah, we want to invite you to the studio and work and come over for a weekend and work on the new material, just to see about how the creativity works and if we're coming like together on a personal level. I think that was maybe the most surreal moment. I'm not usually that starstruck that I fall on my knees or run for autographs or so from people, even though I of course feel deep respect for other artists all the time. But also when you bump into them on festivals or so, it's like, oh, there's the so-and-so or Vincent from Alice Cooper came over last year, I believe, on the festival season, and he just after the show and just wanted to know which band is playing now and come and sat with us and chatted with us a little bit. And it was kind of cool, you know. But no need to break out in tears or something.
No. But I mean, you've met a lot of the people that you probably listen to and idolize, right?
Yeah.
I mean, including your bandmates. I mean, but other people too.
Yeah, and then it was, of course, the first moment meeting Hansi was something very special.
Yeah.
Andre was the first to pick me up or to meet, because we met at a certain point and then drove to the studio because it's not really downtown. So he guided me there. And he was the first that I was in contact with anyway. So by accident, I found his phone number in the phone book, which was not planned, but maybe supposed to be, you know, like after all, looking back, it's it somehow felt like it had to be like this.
The funniest thing you just said was you found his number in the phone book.
yeah. I mean, it was not supposed to be in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny that we're talking about phone books because those don't even exist anymore.
That's also 20 years ago. It was a fading thing back then already.
So I was going to ask you too. Since you've joined the band, do you feel like the recording process has changed for you guys? I mean, with the modernization of things.
Not sure if that was me as a personal impact.
Yeah.
But we have tried, especially for the last record, we have tried some new and also old ways, like getting a little bit back to the old-fashioned way of producing, especially with the drum recordings, since we use tape machines. What I haven't done. I mean, I had once recorded a demo tape for an older band of mine with tapes, but it was not on a studio professional level. So that was quite new experience because you play a little different. You cannot play little short takes. You play like 3 parts in a row, and then and then you also you end up getting a better flow between the parts. It's not like as sliced down.
Yeah, choppy like.
Exactly. And I think it's better because yeah, it gives more like the perspective of, okay, where are we coming from, where are we going to, and it binds more natural into it. But then of course you still can fix some little things that he's like, hey, this take was basically good, but for this little part we have to jump in again. So we can still do that and work and copy the tapes onto computer later on to do a digital version, but we have the benefits of the tape, which there's some sort of tape compression that benefits the sound or enhances the sound a lot.
For you as a drummer, I mean, not being a drummer, I would think that is nicer for you because you get into a rhythm and a flow, and so you're not just like chopping, doing that choppy, start here, do a couple of things for a few seconds and then stop. And
it's different. Of course, you have to keep the focus on a longer time because you want to have, of course, great takes that you can take everything basically, not to edit the least as possible. And you have to keep up the power. If it's like 3 parts in a row and it's like serious double bass patterns going on, that can be demanding. You know, and there's a lot of fast, intense songs on this album. So that was quite a challenge, but I think it paid off in the end.
So, I mean, since we're talking about the album itself, The God Machine was released in 2022, and it was the band's 12th album. And how do you feel like the fan reception has been to this one compared to the other albums?
I think there's 2 basic reactions. Some people, basically all were positive that I heard or that what I read about, and of course you always have like some critic voices that said, oh, maybe I wish you would do this and this more. I haven't heard that this time that much. So, and there's the 2 things that they point out is, first of all, the sound that is really modern, but also rough at the same time, and compact and very powerful. Plus, people received it as we were going back to the roots, which we did not intend or did not even see really that much. Because I mean, I can basically talk about my drumming stuff. It is really different from what happened in the older Blind Guardian stuff. Even though maybe the pace, the fast tempo and the intensity is maybe what people receive, the energy is what they get from the fast stuff, from the older records. Maybe that's what they mean, but from the composition wise, it's still far more complex than the old material. But maybe it's cool that it gives out the vibe of the older stuff, but comes with a modern production. So it's, I think, killing 2 birds with 1 stone somehow. Yeah,
I mean, to me, it has a very modern sound to it, but it still has a rough, not a rough, but an unpolished sound. You know what I mean? So it's not like overproduced. It's it's very almost what you would expect live.
Yeah, and that comes, of course, because we can focus really on just the band. There's not too much distracting things going on. It's just the band. There's no orchestra. It took a lot of rooms on the older productions before that. You need to pay, of course, tribute to that. Orchestra is a big sound body that needs room in the production, and the band gets smaller then. So if it's not there, and we just have a little bit of keyboard effects, but it's basically the band. And therefore they get all the room.
Nice. So staying on the album, it's got some great tracks on it. I mean, there's a lot of great songs on it. But I'm just curious, like, as far as like Secrets of the American God, what was the thought process when you guys did that song? And
you mean
like lyric-wise?
Lyric-wise, okay. This is basically Hansi's topic because he gets usually the inspiration for. He is the one singing it. He is kind of enacting also, as you maybe know from stage. That he's like kind of really impersonating those people or the stories that he's writing about. So that's basically left on him to come up with the stories, and whatever is interesting for him to be an influence at the time finds its way sometimes into lyrics. Usually it's books, sometimes movies, sometimes he's not a big game player, but the rest of the band is, so maybe sometimes we have like this kind of look into this a little bit. This is something that could be interesting.
Because I was looking up the lyrically, and it looked like it was kind of based kind of on a people following false gods, you know, like God showing up and doing some stuff, and so it's a very powerful track to me.
Yeah,
and the same with Violet Shadows. Love Violet Shadows, a great song. And so I just, you know, a lot of those songs to me are just they harken back to the older days of Blind Guardian, but they have a more modern sound and a modern feel to them. So
yeah, that somehow happened to be like that. We're not actively working on drawing that bridge to the older stuff. It was we just wanted to, maybe it was also because it all came together in this Corona time, you know, everybody was forged in their houses, or we were lucky enough to be still working in the studio, of course, with masks and with safety measurements, but we were still working in that. But this kind of frustration over the whole topic, and this I think that it also gets reflected in the sound of that CD. So it's always, of course, if there's a, let's call it real drama or a real threat or something that has an effect on music as well. The people that go through times that suffer or something, that like shitty times, that they have something to tell.
And it comes out in the music.
If you come at first world problems or something, then it's usually a little easier going, you know.
I forgot. I mean, now that I'm thinking back on it, this kind I tell people that this was your COVID baby, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, it was when you were in the throes of it, and it's what came out of it.
Plus, the on the good side, we had a lot of time in the studio, and we had the time of meeting and rehearsing in the studio all together, which we didn't do before, and practice and work on songs together before we recorded them.
Okay.
And then there were some things that came out, and then especially with Violent Shadows, that you felt that would benefit the song, and we can work on those things, or try out if that would also work maybe in a live situation. Some other songs that we wrote for in that period did not go on the album in the end.
Okay.
So we still have something left over from there. But,
nice.
Decided to, this is the essence, and it makes the most sense.
So you guys are on tour in the U.S. right now. About halfway, is that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we played the halfway show in Seattle.
Nice. And then, so when you're done with this tour, are you guys going on a break, or are you going? You got festival season coming up?
Yes, and pretty much right away. So we come back on I think Sunday, and then the next weekend, Friday or so, we're already leaving for the first festival, and we end the U.S. also with a festival in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
It's a festival, I believe.
Yeah. So then after that, you're just gonna take a break?
Yeah. No, that's festivals throughout the summer, basically weekends. Sometimes a little longer, but usually that, because festivals, of course, naturally are situated around the weekends. And then we have the Wacken show, which is the biggest, or one of the biggest European metal fests. And then there's a break in fall, and I think we're doing some Christmas festival stuff.
Nice.
But that's not too much. It's just really for having a nice smooth run out of the year. And then there's no further plans yet.
Nice. Well, I mean, that's all I have today. I just wanted to catch up and see how things were going. It sounds like things are going great for you guys.
Yeah,
so
we cannot complain. Surely.
I appreciate your time. And,
no problem.
And I'm excited for the show tonight. So.
Yeah, so are we.
Like I said, it's been 8 years since.
Yeah. And we have become better.
That's good. It's like wine. You got to get better with age.
Somehow it's strange. Yeah, it feels like you would think, oh, they're getting older, but I feel at least that it's the experience playing together. It gets tighter. It gets even maybe more powerful. We have a nice crew now together that we feel very comfortable with. Also that the sound gets transported the right way that we want it. So
nice.
It's really
well. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Well, that's it, everybody. And we're here to enjoy the show, so look for a review and some photos coming up.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
You wanted to push the button. Thank you.